Panelists, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Distinguished transformational leadership practices in two public high schools in South Palawan, a multiple case study. Tirso Segundo, Teacher 3 of Aborlan National High School, Schools Division of Palawan. At the center of any great learning experience are two essential figures, a learner and an educator. For a school to excel, a third figure is critical, an inspired school leader who brings vision, skill, and a keen understanding of the kinds of environments where the learners can and want to learn. Great schools have one in common, the leadership of a visionary and passionate principal. School heads, therefore, are mandated to spearhead a child-friendly, safe, and effective learning environment. Furthermore, all school players are obliged to collaboratively sustain learners' needs through quality instruction, parents and community commitment, and functional learning facilities and materials. Therefore, through the Basic Education Research Fund or BERF, as recommended by the Division Planning and Research Committee, this research was conducted to explore the distinguished transformational leadership behaviors and practices in two public high schools in South Palawan. For the research questions, first, what are the leadership behaviors exhibited in the two public high schools in South Palawan? Second, what are the leadership practices exemplified in these two schools? Third, how do leadership behaviors and practices contribute to transformation in these two schools? Research design. This study used the exploratory qualitative approach through in-depth interviews, focus group discussion, mini observation, and document analysis. Multiple case study design was used to collect, analyze, and interpret the data. Sampling procedure. Purposive sampling was used in this study. Selection criteria involved national high schools, school infrastructure, status, recognition and awards, students' achievements, teachers' performances, and school culture for the last 4 years. Research participants. This study involved 26 participants with 2 school heads, 6 teachers, 6 parents, 6 students, and 6 community representatives who have been working together in school for the last 4 years. Data collection. Data were collected using in-depth interviews with the school heads, focus group discussion with the teachers, students, parents, and community representatives, mini observation, and document analysis. Data analysis. The grounded theory approach by Corbin and Strauss was used in analyzing the data through open coding, eggshell coding, and selective coding. Data analysis followed the multiple case study procedures. For the findings, conclusions, and recommendations for leadership behaviors, both leaders brought about favorable school changes. They exhibited genuine trust, leadership credibility and integrity, inspiration for all, strategic thinking, empowerment skill, satisfactory job outputs, and recognitions for achievement. Conclusion. Leadership behaviors are basic in transformational process. The 7 themes formed confirm that leadership primarily influences change among school stakeholders. Recommendation. School heads must continually undergo intensive transformational leadership trainings and, in return, be obliged to benchmark as closely monitored and evaluated in their own respective stations and/or districts. For leadership practices, both schools have exhibited some unique best practices. They exemplified positive school culture, reinforced learning, cultivated leadership qualities, managed school resources well, calibrated instruction and school operation, promoted environmental protection, and stabilized practices on health, sanitation, and nutrition. Conclusion. Such school practices help to develop strong bonds among students, teachers, parents, school heads, and the community, promote a sense of belongingness, and make the students feel they are cared for, accepted, and respected, and set a clear direction in the career path for both learners and teachers. Recommendation: schools must be mandated to document and share their exemplarily unique leadership practices periodically as evidenced by commendable achievements or transformations so as to inspire other schools to escalate as well. For school transformation, both schools have improved support system, valued community aspirations, developed healthy sense of self, set the right tone, sustained the school, raised school standard, and forged ecological and technological soundness. Conclusion: school transformation is multifaceted and multidimensional. Changes in all school aspects must be evident, including improved school facilities and environment, better school academic and non-academic performances, strong community support, awards and recognitions, elevated school status, and change in school culture and environment. Recommendation: a periodic reporting and evaluation on relevant school transformations must be institutionalized as basis for sustained school transformational initiatives. Recommendations for future research: conduct comparative studies on leadership behaviors in private and religious schools and other public elementary and high schools to further the understanding of school transformational process. Schools with remarkable transformations must be studied for their exemplary practices. Further studies on transformational leadership practices using quantitative approaches to generalize the results to a bigger population are encouraged. Studies among cultural or ethnic groups in Palawan are also encouraged in order to explore their unique school leadership behaviors and practices. Conduct studies on challenges undergone by school leaders and their leadership resiliency. Advancing evidence-based program development, the culture of research across basic education players must be institutionalized with sufficient funding and functional implementation. For the output, the result of this study was initially presented to the stakeholders of Aborlan National High School. As well, the result is displayed in the principal's office. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.